Allegedly, SoFaygo is back. Maybe not, because we actually don't know if it's true. NFR posted Jack Boys 2, and he included SoFaygo on the track list, or not the track list, but like the people involved within the project: Travis Scott, Don Toliver, Sheck West, SoFaygo on Jack Boys 2, with this little Jack Boys 2 promo campaign that's going on. I don't know if it's actually promo, but actually Circus Maximus posted it. So it might not have been paid. I just more so meant like they did this knowing that it would get people to talk about it. Now, I don't know. I know SoFaygo signed to Cactus Jack, so maybe that's why they included them. But I know NFR also gets a lot of promo, so they could have told them to like hype it up a little bit and put SoFaygo on there, gave him some insider info, because that did stir up some conversation in the underground. Isn't SoFaygo independent? He's technically independent distributor-wise, but he signed to Cactus Jack with like the cosign. Like he signed to the imprint of Cactus Jack, but he doesn't have like a big label backing, if that makes sense. So like, say like Grade A Records with Juice WRLD, Grade A is not technically backed by any label specifically. Like they are the management or the label imprint, and then they shop around to the label that's going to give them the right contract, the right terms, the right advanced marketing, recording budget. And so SoFaygo just remained out of that picture, where he never signed a deal. He just remained independent. Why? No idea. Maybe he's taking a lesson from Kanye, because Kanye's crashing out because he's attention starved, and SoFaygo just didn't want that fame because he knew where it was going to take him. Although I don't think SoFaygo would end up like that. He seems a little more level-headed. Are they managing him? No, I didn't mean like Cactus Jack managing him, but like when you sign to an imprint, you get like the resources. So like I assume signing to Cactus Jack, it opened up like SoFaygo getting the Travis Scott feature. And it's also a huge cosign from Travis Scott. Like, do you remember when we were talking about this in 2019, bro? 2019. The last Trump administration. He could have had it. He could have been the one, bro. But we already been over that. We don't need to dig up that grave. But you know what? He might be making it up because he's still talented, and I'll say it to this day, even though he fucking hates me. But he only hates me because I'm calling out the truth. He'd only be offended if he thought that maybe what I was saying was true. We're only offended by things and insults that we think might have merit. Think about that one. So this is why everybody thinks SoFaygo is on it. Now, just because this was posted, though, I don't know what NFR knows. I don't know what they were told, but just because, if we're going by just this video, it just says Jack Boys 2, and then it lists up a bunch of the words, Jack Boys, whatever. So depending on like where it landed on the building or in the air, it did another word, but I didn't see SoFaygo anywhere. But that could be the comeback. Let me go to our post actually about SoFaygo and see like if anybody has any information, or not even information, but like crazy opinions about this. Here we go. Let's see the comments. I'm giving tough love. Exactly. That's why I never understand why SoFaygo be coming at me, because I'm like, dude, I'm a fan, bro. During the dark ages, I was listening to all the leaks. I was reacting to all the leaks. I was like one of the only pages covering him other than the fan pages. And so I don't know why he's on my dick sometimes. But let's see. Let me see. Okay, we're just going to get gifts. What do y'all think? Is SoFaygo going to be on this shit? Because I think if he's not on Jack Boys 2, then you know it's over. And there might be some funny business going on of like him actually being dropped like people thought a couple years ago, because he wasn't on Utopia, even though, you know, that's not necessarily It's not necessarily proof that he got dropped or anything, because he might not have worked with Travis Scott. We need to see a picture of them together, because I know there was actually one about a year ago or something with them. Maybe it was 2 years ago at a club. So they're still cool, or they were still cool. Are they still business partners though? I don't know. But all I'm saying is if he's not on Jack Boys 2, you know it's over, because I feel like we're on the final straw with SoFaygo. I don't know how many times he has teased coming back, like dropping SoundCloud exclusives and whatnot, but that's just not cutting it anymore, because you got to drop official music. Go Plus. What was the last project he dropped? Was it Go Plus? Let me look this shit up. And then that was in 2023, I want to say. And then the rest of the projects that he dropped, maybe he did some singles in 2024. Precision, I think that was on SoundCloud first. Life So Crazy, okay. What You Want was in 2023. But the last album was Go Plus in 2023. And that was a cool little project. But again, he's taking way too much of a break. Everyone's kind of just waiting to see if he's actually going to make a move. That one move, the literal like only thing he needs to do to make it at this point is get the Travis Scott feature. Because I don't know, like he's losing followers on Instagram. He's losing monthly listeners on Spotify. He's probably losing streams if the monthly listeners are going down at like in a monthly rate, I mean. And so he needs that spotlight again. He's already got the underground low key, like kind of locked. Like everybody wants to hear him. I know a lot of people like troll and say in the comments, oh nah, SoFaygo's done. We left him in the last Trump administration. But guess who's back right now? Trump is back in office. This might be the omen for SoFaygo to come back. Because like, if this is where he started, so now we got to finish it. Just drop with Travis Scott. It's fucking crazy. Just stop talking about, bro, he was cornball to begin with. I never understood the hype. You never understood the hype? Bro is fire, dude. He was low-key like one of the people that I think started the hype of the underground. Because before that, there was like Summers and Autumn and Can, but like they never really brought it to the attention of mainstream. You know, like when he got signed to Cactus Jack, or there was the rumors that he was signed to Cactus Jack because Travis Scott and Khloe Kardashian or something was playing it on IG Live or on her Instagram story at a party in a backyard in LA. That's when I was like, oh shit, like the underground's finally getting some attention. Or like one of the rappers is going to make it out the hood. And so then like after that was 2019, right? Late 2019. I think maybe 2020, late 2020. Regardless. So then after that, there was like Ken, there was Yeet, there was you know what I'm saying? Like it was, is what brought the underground to where it started. At least like when I got super into it. Of course, I was listening to people on SoundCloud in 2015, like Thousand Banfani, Lucky, you know, I can't even think, Uno, Candy Paint, like all those artists, Warhol.ss. So like there was always an underground, but like SoFaygo kind of brought it to mainstream, especially getting one of the first songs from the underground to blow up on TikTok. And y'all are saying Uzi, I get it. But the thing is, I feel like the previous generation of SoundCloud, like I don't even really consider that underground because everyone's blowing up so fast. Like there was, of course, a time when they were underground and they didn't get a lot of streams, but like Uzi first album, at least the one that people heard of, was Love Is Rage. And it had Young Thug on it. He was already signed to Don Cannon at our generation, what was it? Generation Now. Shout out OGM. Cardi, he in 2016, he was underground 2015 and before that, but he already had like Broke Boy, and that was blowing up. He was co-signed by Ian Connor. That was definitely underground, but like there was still a large amount of followers behind it. That was before the age of social media really took off. And then Lil Yachty blew up out of nowhere. One of his songs was played in like a YouTube video of a big skit YouTuber. And so like that blew up to millions of plays. Like everything moved way faster back in those days. So like I feel like the underground was much smaller. You moved to mainstream so much quicker. Because before that, it was so traditional where like you get signed and then you go through traditional media and marketing. Whereas 2016 opened the doors for the internet. Everyone blew up super fast, Trippie Redd, and then it kind of slowed down 2018, 2019, while X and Juice were huge, although they passed away during this time. But like, you know what I mean? Uzi was huge. And then 2018 was like when Summers and then were coming up, but like they didn't have too much attention going on. But then SoFaygo came around. Travis Scott co-signed. He was like the first one in this new gen at the time to really make a move. So that's why I respect SoFaygo too. Okay? I don't want to see no conversations about leave him in the last Trump administration. We're back. Okay? I don't know when Jack Boys 2 is dropping, but it seems like it's coming. And I feel like it'll come before Travis Scott's next album because I think he just did an interview where he was saying like it's still a secret. And he just dropped Utopia like last year or the year before. So like we still got a couple years before that shit drops. He needs to build out the rollout just like Cardi does of like what's the actual concept behind it. Do I think Summers is stagnant? For sure, unfortunately. I haven't really heard his name in a long ass time. I think actually after I Am Music, and this is just a prediction, and I'm just going based on, this isn't like some crazy prophecy. It's just like based on data that after Whole Lotta Red, there was a huge movement with like Ken Carson blowing up, Yeet blowing up. SoFaygo was getting already kind of attention. And then like he started to get motion too, like a lot, because there was a lot more people that were, I don't know, a lot of people were waiting on a Whole Lotta Red. And then once he dropped, then it's like, okay, we could take a break from Cardi for a little bit and let some new artists get attention, at least from like the underground, so to speak. And so now I feel like with I Am Music dropping, the same thing might happen. Like Dior versus You is going crazy right now. Until Japan he's already been going up, but like his album is getting a lot of anticipation. I feel like there's a new wave of artists that are coming up. The UK rappers, Len, Femi, Lancey's already been up. Who else? YT, Fake Mink, like all these British rappers going up. Yeah, Femi is hard. I like Femi. But yeah, I think Summers might be getting left in the last generation. Like, when have you heard from him or Autumn? And Can's basically retired. I'm not dissing him. It's just, you know, he's working on his clothes. Respect to that. He's making more money that way. He made $1 million in a year or whatever. So, you know, that's the better way to do it anyway. To be honest, music streaming doesn't make a lot until you get your fat advance in the label and then they own you afterwards. 1300 Saint, yeah. The YSL clique. I like Southside and Rolling Thrax too, but I don't know. They've been around for a while, so I don't know. It seems like Dior vs. You is passing them. Nine Vicious, although depending on how you feel about the allegations, although I don't really feel like people care all too much because he owned up to it. That's all you really had to do. I was talking to a friend. We were talking about SSG Kobe and how he got canceled. And literally all he had to do to mitigate being canceled was like speak, like what happened. But like, because he didn't say anything about it, he didn't talk about it, he didn't say the story, he didn't call her like, you know, she came over with consent or whatever. I'm not saying that he should lie necessarily, but like just speak on what happened. Say sorry at least. I don't know. But no, he went into a cave for like 3 to 6 months, and then he came back and like everyone already like forgot about you, bro. You know what I mean? Owning up to is crazy though. I mean, look, owning up to it is better than just letting it ride, right? Like all we can do in this life is improve. You know, if you do something wrong, the least you can do is accept it and be like, yeah, I did it, and like reconcile with the person that you fucked over. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning it at all. I'm just saying.